When we think about animal reproduction, we might picture a beautiful nature documentary scene. But you know what? A lot of the time, it's less like a romance and more like an all-out war. Seriously, before any new life even has a chance to begin, there's a secret, invisible battle being fought. It's this brutal, high-stakes competition, an evolutionary gauntlet, that males have to run just to pass on their genes. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this incredible battlefield.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the microscopic battle I just mentioned, the sperm wars. Then we'll look at the two main arenas where this all goes down, inside or outside the body. After that, we'll get into the wild delivery systems animals have evolved. Then we'll tackle the big question of fatherhood, what happens after mating. And finally, we'll see how this ancient gauntlet is being completely upended by the modern world.
So let's start where it all begins, on a battlefield so tiny you literally can't see it. This is the world of the sperm wars. And believe me, it's not just a simple race to the egg. It's more like a microscopic battle royale.
So why do we call it a war? Well, it all comes down to one thing: competition. See, in a ton of species, a female might mate with more than one male. That means the game isn't over after courtship. Nope, the competition just moves inside her body. It becomes a direct head-to-head battle between the sperm of different rivals. The prize? A genetic legacy. The cost of losing? Vanishing from the evolutionary story.
The first and maybe most basic strategy in this war is just overwhelming force. It's like buying a lottery ticket, but instead of buying one, you buy billions. A single boar, for example, can release over 50 billion sperm. It's a brute force approach, right? The logic is simple. If you flood the zone with billions of your own guys, you dramatically increase the odds that one of yours will be the winner.
And this really gets to the heart of it. There are two main playbooks in this war. On one side, you've got the quantity game, that brute force lottery we just talked about. But on the other side, things get way more tactical. It's all about quality. These are like the special forces of the sperm world. They're not just there to fertilize. They are literally designed to fight, to block, and sometimes even to kill their rivals.
And this is where things get absolutely wild. I mean, check this out. In some rodents, sperm from the same male actually link up, forming these cooperative trains to swim faster together. Some insects have developed literal chemical warfare. Their seminal fluid is toxic to the sperm of other males, and some species even have these kamikaze sperm, whose only job is to seek and destroy the competition. They don't even try for the egg.
Okay, so you've got your army of sperm ready to go. The next big question is, where is the battle going to happen? Evolution has really come up with two main answers here. There's external fertilization, where sperm and eggs meet out in the open, and then there's internal fertilization, where all the action happens safely inside the female's body.
This table breaks down the pros and cons so well. If you look at external fertilization, like in the water, it's a huge gamble. There's almost no protection, and there's a very low chance your sperm will even find an egg. So the solution is just to release millions and hope for the best. But with internal fertilization, you get high protection and a much higher certainty of success. It's a targeted investment, which helps explain why you often see more parental care with this strategy.
So, let's say you're a frog. How do you make things a little less random in that big, watery world? Well, you evolved this brilliant move called amplexus. It might just look like a hug, but it's a genius strategy. The male literally holds onto the female, sometimes for days, waiting for the perfect moment. As soon as she releases her eggs, he releases his sperm right on top of them. It's the perfect way to boost the odds.
Now, if you're going to have the battle happen inside the female's body, you're going to need some specialized equipment to get the job done. And this is where evolution just went completely wild, creating some of the most bizarre and intricate delivery systems you can imagine.
Okay, get this. Male snakes and lizards don't have one reproductive organ. They have two. They're called hemipenes. They're normally kept inside the body. And for mating, they're everted, which is basically turned inside out like a sock. And the reason for having two? It lets them mate from either the left or the right side, so they never miss an opportunity. It's like a use one, spare one system. And these things are not simple. They are often covered in this crazy array of hooks and spines and spikes. And no, that's not just for looks. These structures act like little grappling hooks to anchor the male in place. They can also stimulate the female's reproductive tract, which might even influence which male sperm she ends up using. It's just another layer of intense competition.
Most birds, on the other hand, have made the whole process incredibly simple.
About 97% of them use what's called a cloacal kiss. Both males and females just have one single opening for everything, called a cloaca. Mating is just a very quick, very precise touch of these two openings. We're talking less than a second, long enough to transfer sperm. It's a super efficient system, especially if you need to mate on the fly, sometimes literally.
But wait, the competition doesn't stop when mating is over. Not even close. For some animals, the final move is to completely block any other players from even getting on the board. In many rodents, for example, part of the male's ejaculate hardens into a plug. It's basically a biological chastity belt. It physically stops any other males from mating with the female, making sure his sperm get an exclusive shot at fertilization.
All right, so fertilization was a success. The first huge battle has been won. But now the male faces another massive strategic decision, one that's going to define his entire legacy. Does he stay and help raise the kids he just created? Or does he take off and try to run that gauntlet all over again with someone new?
And this one question, stay or go, it's one of the biggest trade-offs in the entire animal kingdom. The answer is based on this cold, hard, evolutionary math, and it shapes everything, from how animals behave to whether the next generation even survives.
So, evolution has basically boiled it down to two key questions for the male. First, paternity certainty. How sure am I that these are actually my kids? The more certain he is, the more likely he is to stick around and invest. Second, opportunity cost. What am I giving up by staying? If finding another mate is really tough, it makes a lot more sense to stay and protect the investment he's already made.
And this logic leads to some of the most amazing role reversals in all of nature. I mean, just look at the seahorse. For him, paternity certainty is 100%. Why? Because the female lays her eggs directly into his pouch. He fertilizes them right there and then basically becomes pregnant. He's the one who carries the babies, protects them, and gives birth. It's the ultimate example of a dad going all in, all because he knows for sure those kids are his.
So everything we've talked about so far was shaped by millions of years of evolution. But for this last part, we have to look at what's happening right now. Because this ancient gauntlet is facing a brand new set of challenges, a whole new set of rules, and a lot of them were created by us.
This chart shows a really serious modern problem. Things are getting out of sync. For thousands of years, birds have timed their nesting so their chicks hatch at the exact moment their main food source, bugs, is at its peak. But with climate change, the insects are showing up earlier and earlier. The birds' internal clocks, though, haven't caught up. So what happens? You get this devastating mismatch where the chicks hatch, but the food's already gone.
And what's really terrifying is that a lot of these modern threats are attacking the reproductive process itself. Chemicals and pollution can mess with hormones, damaging sperm production, or even causing male fish to develop female traits. At the same time, when we destroy habitats, we isolate animal populations, which leads to inbreeding and weaker genetics. These aren't just environmental issues, they're direct attacks on the very machinery of life.
And that leaves us with this final, really urgent question. That evolutionary arms race that created all these incredible things, the sperm trains, the chemical weapons, the pregnant dads, it's still going on. But the battlefield is changing faster than ever. As we keep rewriting the rules of the planet, the ultimate test is whether these amazing, ancient strategies will be enough for species to survive the modern gauntlet.